Got the go-ahead from RNG to send out our challenge, so I'm going to send this challenge out to Thundershot and not play my sideboard yet. It's pretty important we do this one instead. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'll be having Thundershot's list up on my other screen because why wouldn't I? It's good information to have. I have it mostly memorized at this point, but he's got a lot of interesting 2-ofs and randos in there, so it's good to keep track of that stuff. I recommend if you're watching along too and you have an extra monitor, bring up the lists right on the side. I'll make sure to have a link to those deck lists in the show notes. So let's see here. We have a little bit of interaction, which helps. We've got a Xenon Obelisk if we want to go on the beatdown plan. And we've got a Marison's Disciple. We do want to be on the deep beatdown plan, and the question then becomes, like, what cards are we really looking for in this matchup? And Xenon Obelisk is primary target number 1. Annihilate helps make sure they don't get out of control with 5/5s right away. And Ephemeral Wisp can buy us some amount of time. So this hand's okay. It is slow. We're on the draw. We have nothing but the depleted power in banners. So that's a little sketchy. But I think we're going to keep it. The fact we have no card draw here is also a source of concern. But I think this is either average or slightly better than average as far as hands go. Yeah, and another Marison's Disciple. That's another really good card in this matchup. It gives us a flyer. So yeah, the hand is slow, but it kind of has all of the cards we want to see in the matchup, other than maybe this Ephemeral Wisp isn't that important. And an assembly line, sure. Let's get our double time on. So if we draw Temple Scribe, I'd probably want to play that instead of Ephemeral Wisp. So now we have double time available. And our opponent is stuck on 2 power. Okay. We're going to play Wisp into Seat here. That way next turn we're guaranteed to be able to... Well, not guaranteed to be able to play this undepleted banner. He could choose to kill Wisp, but it's going to cycle a Levitate to give this flying, which any number of Levitates that they're down on is a good thing for us. And it might be cycling another Levitate here. Okay, so our opponent kept probably a power light hand and just resigned himself to have to use Levitate to find more power if necessary. So we'll see what those Levitates revealed for them. There's the power, at least a Shadow Sigil. And we're going to have to decide if we want to play a Disciple or this Obelisk here. I think it's a pretty easy Disciple. That means they're going to need both a way to give this flying and a way to kill our flyer next turn, which is totally possible. Totally possible, but I'm going to put it on them to do that. We don't have to worry about lightning storms, so that's a really big boon for us. That means next turn I can, like, play out this assembly line and hold up an Annihilate. And, yeah, we'll hope for the best. So we'll see what they do. Sorry about that. I specifically told people not to interrupt, and sometimes they still do. All right, this is good. This is good for us. We are just going to hold this back until we have... Well, we do have Annihilate. We could... I don't want to be forced to use Annihilate yet, is really the issue here. So, how do we want to do this? We could play a second Marison's Disciple and start beating with this. But really, if we just... Let's check out this. Like what are we worried about right now? They've got recurring items, they've got wisdoms. Like, their removal is permafrosts and suffocates, right? And a death strike and a steward of the past. So we just need to get our beats on. But we need to do it carefully. We need to do this measured. Once we get 6 power, we can just constantly hold up... Like, I think if we just hold up Annihilate, there's very little that can punish us. I'm also not going to swing on the ground. That just opens us up to being Haunting Screamed. So we're just going to be slightly patient here. Yes, that's giving them more draw steps, and we want to be aggressive. But we also want more draw steps. Really, if we can just one-shot them with Xenon Obelisk, we'll take that. We'll take that. All right, they're scheming. They're scheming. Like, if I draw power here, I can just slam Marison's Disciple for another flyer, get in with this one. Or play Xenon Obelisk and just start going to town. This Cabal Recruiter is annoying as a blocker, but honestly, if it hits us... It's not the end of the world. Like, yeah, they can get Scrap Tank. That's annoying. Okay. Temple Scribe's totally fine here. Fire Sigil is nice. And decision. That. And then next turn we'll probably just obelisk and start beating down. Just start beating down. Like I said, most of the ways we lose this game is by not holding up Annihilate right now. Like, they can draw all the cards they want. We've got the board position. We're going to start putting a clock on them. What we're going to attack with next turn, we'll figure out. All right, there's the Permafrost. And then the Levitate. Did they draw a third Levitate? They've drawn a lot of cards. No. Okay. So do we play now our other Marison's Disciple, or do we start attacking? Can't do both. It's still they don't have a Levitate. They would have used it there. So it means this flyer is not as important unless they scream this back, but then we have the Annihilate for the scream. Can we set up like a really quick 2-turn clock here instead? And then we have the Marison's Disciple the next turn. Like, we have to start attacking at some point. So I think this is the turn to do that. We'll leave this back. We want to leave about 2 to 3 units back and kind of bash with the rest. If they offer to double block something, I'll actually just bounce off this. Anyways. Is 3 the number of units we want to leave back? Is that correct? How much? They already used 1 Permafrost. They could certainly have more spot removal. Let's see here. So they say they just block each. We get in for 6. That's better than nothing. Maybe I'm supposed to wait till 8 and like alpha them. Maybe I'm being a little too impatient here. Thundershot hates Sigil Screw, but he's on 5 power. If you're on 5 power, you can't really complain about Power Screw. That's kind of my opinion. That sounds like a deck building error. We can cast literally every spell in our deck on 5 power. All right, so he's doing this block. So yeah, we're going to fight and choose to just do 2 damage to this. There's no reason to put this in the yard and let them Hunting Scream it back. We'll just let it be alive. I think that might be a blocking error on his part. If he had Hunting Scream, I think he'd want to just block with the Direwood Beast Color. Just chump block. This is a scenario where it's... Okay, that's interesting. They're suffocating the Disciple. This is a scenario where you really want Lightning Storm to Lightning Storm not only our board, but your own unit. So that's the scary card. That's the one we can't annihilate. Amber Acolyte gets us to 8. That sounds really nice right about now. I think we can be pretty happy about that. Now do we swing in with everything? We're going to have at least this back and probably the Marison's Disciple as well. I don't think we need to hold up Annihilate anymore. Rather get the extra flyer down. And plus they're both 4/4s. So let's see. If we swing with everything and they block 1/1/1, they take 3, 6, 8. They go to 8. We have a pretty imposing board. I'm trying to figure out the ways we lose this match. I do want to hold up Annihilate, but having a 4/4 flyer is practically as good, right? Like, we're not scared of Suffocates anymore. They literally have to have Permafrost. Let's just swing and figure out how they block, and we'll go from there. Yeah, we'll put the screws to them. Because we can't annihilate this if they scream that. If they scream this, they get 2 5/5s. They could potentially scream both, which is a concern as well. But that's, I think, why a 4/4 flyer here is better. Because now they have to have Permafrost, essentially. Foam Cauldron. Okay, that's fine. Okay, double Foam Cauldron scoop. Looks to be. I am so lucky, says Thundershot. That's odd. It's an odd thing to say. Well, I get 20 gold for that game. It's a very odd thing to say. I don't think that game had luck had anything to do with that game. I don't know. I didn't see our opponent's mulligans. Maybe his first hand also had double power. I'm not sure. But anyway, we had a plan and we stuck to it. We recognized what our good cards were. We held up Annihilate. We played around Scream. We played around a lot of things. I think our opponent made some... I think that if they were on Haunting Scream, that double block's a little surprising. Anyways, let's check out our sideboard plan. So I previewed it in the video earlier, and I actually decided to go ahead with it. Where we're cutting the Ephemeral Wisps, we're cutting the Combust, we're just cutting all the kind of clunky cards. We don't really want to be combusting their units. As you saw there, we want them to stay on the field so they can't be Haunting Scream back. We don't want them Haunting Scream back. So, Annihilate, we go up to 4. We still go up to 4 because the one way they can win the race is gum up the ground with 5/5s and make it harder for us to race. And we're just going to add in a bunch of huge singular threats. You saw that game. We didn't draw Praxis, Vault of the Praxis, and we didn't want to. We just wanted to kill our opponent before they started killing us to death with flyers. So we're going to keep the Devourers and the Temple Scribes to just draw to our Sandstorm Titans, our Marison's Disciples, our Xenon Obelisks. Like this Holy Trinity is the cards we want to see the most. These drones and assembly lines are just there to kind of get in a few extra points of damage. The Infernal Tyrant, just going to be a thing that I think is difficult for them to remove. Maybe we don't want this. I'm not sure. But let's press our luck here. So we'll choose our sideboarded plan. We'll see what our opponent goes on if they opt for more of a Felon control list or something like that. This hand, I think, is maybe one of those unlucky hands that Thundershot was referencing. This hand has one important card and some card draw. No real interaction, which could be a concern. And we're on the draw again, which I would say is unlucky. Oh, we're just going to shoot this Sabo off now. It means we can't Temple Scribe next turn. But if they have Island's Favor and I don't use this Sabo now, I'm going to be real sad. I'm going to be really sad. Wow, they kept in Permafrost. That's kind of surprising. Wow, no Haunting Screams. Well, I didn't expect this. Maybe we should have been more patient. I was just nervous about Island's Favors. Do we care about the 2 cards or the specific card? I think we're more concerned about them drawing deep. Huh, Permafrost Scheme. That is interesting. Permafrost Wisdom Scheme. Huh. This is going to be a little awkward now if they play an Infiltrate unit here. I can't have Devour up for this Temple Scribe because we opted... Okay, they don't. I should have played Xenon Banner there. That was a mistake. They're just going to Wisdom here. That may have been a mistake to give them 2 cards instead of 1, but I was thinking more long game. I'd want them less shots to dig for answers to our Sandstorm Titan. More Wisdoms. Okay. Okay. We're going to hit them for 2 this turn, probably. Blech. Oh. Okay, that's actually better. We'll play Grenadin Drone, leave up Devour. This actually ends up getting in for more damage in the long run. We'll see if they brought... I'm sure they brought in their Lightning Storms. I'm sure they did, but... Withering Witch, sure. So yeah, they brought in the whole Felon Control package. Got it. Part of me wants to leave up Devour here, but we just need to get our beats on. They clearly don't have Lightning Storm in hand. They would have used it. Instead of Witch there. I mean, maybe they didn't want a 1-for-1 with a Lightning Storm. But now we're going to make them... if they don't use it here, I mean, we're going to have a second Obelisk, so... There it is. Okay. They played Witch just thinking that could block our 1/1s, I guess, was their perspective. Now this Devour's dead and this Obelisk is real bad, so we're in rough shape. Man, I got punished hard for being aggressive with this Sabo. Maybe they took out their Island's Favors. I don't know. Anyways. We have 2 obelisks. We just need to start drawing units and devouring. I had probably made some sequencing errors there. The fact that they got the wisdom into another wisdom really is going to make this tough. Yeah, okay, recurring nightmare. So we have to race this, and we have no board presence to race it with. Yeah, we're in trouble. We are in trouble. Of course, Sabo couldn't have helped with that anyways. Not really sure what they're thinking about here. This is a situation where I would have wished to have somehow find a way to put, like, Torch in my sideboard or something like that. But Marison's Disciple. Nope. Nope. Alright. Alright. Yeah, this is bad. I needed to somehow find a spot for this. Drawing the second obelisk without drawing more units, it was rough too. That we did not get as much as we hoped for out of this sabotage, that's for sure. I need to be more patient with it and just hope they never draw Island's Favor. I was just so nervous that they were on the play that they get the Island's Favor on turn 2. It just like would have given us a dead card, but maybe that just makes the maybe that just means I shouldn't be playing Sabotage. Would like Ephemeral Wisp be better? I don't think so. I think Sabotage still has enough upside. It just has to dodge the Island's Favor, right? Yeah. Yeah. But like that was another reason I took the scheme. Like I didn't want them digging for their best cards in the matchup instead of Wisdom. Yeah, and we're drawing all our dead cards. Oh well. You know, it sucks that maybe I'm supposed to cut back down to 3 Annihilates and try and get more units in here somewhere, but it's not like Ephemeral Wisp really help us with the beatdown plan. Furnace Mage doesn't do anything, except now that we know they kept in Permafrost, maybe it does. Maybe it does. Now it's too late to even draw Sandstorm Titan. This can just, I mean, it's not too late in that we live, but it's got to be big enough now to kill our Sandstorm Titan, even though our Sandstorm Titan is going to be... Alright, well, we drew a lot of power there. It happens. We drew a couple dead cards that we knew we could be dead. They only have 2 recurring nightmares. They have to find them, and he found them. So that was kind of sad that that was a non-game. Let me double check our plan there. I mean, Sabotage doesn't answer Nightmare, but it answers literally everything else. Infernal Tyrant helps you race it. We had all these units to draw. We just didn't draw them. Like, we run 40 units. I'm just going to chalk that one up to bad luck. I think I still really like our sideboard plan. I think Sabo's still really nice here, even with the idea of Island's Favor. Like, our other options are essentially... like, let's check this out. Our other options are, like, some number of Furnace Mages, some number of Combust, which wouldn't have helped at all in that scenario. Keep that in mind. Some number of Ephemeral Wisps, which could have been nice. You know, it's just 4 more units. Is that, I think, four Sabotages rather than those is too important. So we'll run it back. We'll run it back. And hopefully we get to be on the play for once. We'll see. I'm pretty confident in our sideboard plan. You didn't see really anything. Oh, he's changing his sideboard plan. Maybe he's realizing the Permafrosts were bad because we sabotaged him and didn't take it out of his hand, and then he didn't use it for the rest of the game. But he also didn't play any units for the rest of the game. It's really awkward getting blown out by Lightning Storm when your hand is double Obelisk. Because that's the whole point of the Obelisk, is to kind of make... But this deck has never been weak to Lightning Storm. We just didn't draw any more units. Like, we literally didn't draw any more units. We drew nothing but power. I don't know. I think that's just a bad variance game. If at any point, like, one of those Annihilates or Devours or Powers was any unit, I would have liked our chances significantly more. I have no idea what else is in his hand, though. It's probably just chock full of removal or something like that. I think we are still going to stick to the... Well... The Annihilates look a little bit worse now that we know they brought in the Witches, which means they also brought in the Harbingers. This has a lot less targets. Like, they may have just taken out that whole plan. Alright, so what if we just take out the removal and just bring in more units? What if we just do that? This could be risky. Just straight up 0 interaction. Straight up 0 interaction. Other than Sabotage. Is that crazy? Do we think they brought out the Direwood Beastcallers? Or was that a coincidence? Was that a coincidence? It's hard to know. Our sabotages don't give us perfect information. They only give us partial. What if we trim... I don't want to do a 2-2 split. That sounds real bad to me. Let's go with it. Let's make a judgment call here. It's not like Ephemeral Wisp is the most aggressive unit in the world, but it can be. It can be. Oh, that's the wrong Wisp. Oh, boy. Okay. Do we get to be on the play? Nope, we're on the draw 3 straight games. Ugh, that's one of the more annoying things about this game. Alright. We have a Sabo, we have an Obelisk, but I'm honestly just going to mulligan for a Sandstorm Titan. I probably should have done that game 1. And of course we see double Infernals. Well, we're not seeing the cards we want to see. That's a shame. That's a shame. Hopefully we see them soon. Hopefully we see them soon. The one risky thing about Infernal Tyrant is we might not hit our double fire in time. Oh, jeez. This is rough. This is a rough hand. Okay, that's better. This hand got slightly better now. Now you can at least cycle a little bit here. Can at least cycle a little. But yeah, no Obelisk, no Sandstorm Titan. Rough times. Maybe maybe instead of bringing the Ephemeral Wisp, I should have brought in the Furnace Mages. All right, so they still have that. There's our Obelisk. Nice. Would I rather Chump Devour here? Or just Chump play Assembly Line? Like, we want to just find Sandstorm Titan as quick as possible, and Devour is going to be the way to do that. They probably have Levitate for this. That's fine. This isn't the one that ends our life. It draws them a bunch of cards. It gives them a lot of answers, which is annoying, but not the end of the world. So we just Chump and then Devour and find more Devour. So we'll probably just do the same thing next turn. Alright, we're drawing all of our assembly lines. Annoying. We've got our Wisps going. They were on 4 power and did nothing. That's not a good sign for us, actually. That means they probably have a handful of Harbingers and stuff. Oh, jeez. Which means I need to get this Obelisk down real quick. Yep. So these would have been Annihilates. Not useful here either. We're pretty happy to at least have something to devour. Yeah, we're not going to block. Oof. Yeah, so now I'm nervous that like they've got Lightning Storms and Harbingers, and I need to get these out of range of that, but I also need to be metering out threats. So next turn, I would like to Scrap Tank. I would like to. Dark Return. They're Dark Returning now. Okay. Oh, because they want to play it this turn? And then they're going to Levitate it again next turn? They must have drawn a Levitate. I don't know why else you would use a Dark Return before you've Haunting Scream something. That seems kind of weird. Hopefully we just find a Sabo here. Can figure out what the hell is going on. Alright, good. So let's see here. How do we want to do this? Do we want to get down our Obelisk now? And then start developing the board? We can Sabo for information first. Yeah. Double Lightning Storm. No Haunting Screams. No Levitates? Wow. That's interesting. Oh, and now this survives Lightning Storm. Gotcha. So they're going to be able to draw more cards again this turn. Maybe that was a reason to play Scrap Tank, but we didn't know what their hand was, which is why we did the play we did. So in that case, we want to keep hitting power. We want to get this Obelisk down soon. Yeah, so they're about to draw 3 more cards. They're just going to Lightning Storm. Basically, they're going to use their Lightning Storm to draw 3 cards and gain 3 more life. But I think we still Obelisk here, just so they don't have the option of Black Sky Harbinger instead. I think we'd rather force them to Lightning Storm. We have no answers to Black Sky Harbinger. We have to somehow erase it. We're just in really bad shape here, unless we draw a Sandstorm Titan, which they don't have any answers to at the moment. They could be sitting on Witch Storm. That could be happening. It's a little awkward here if they do Witch Storm, because Witch will turn these actually into -1 zeros. So they stop coming back, which is a problem. All right. They weren't going to Witch Storm this turn. They weren't going to have the power to. but it's something to keep in mind in the future that they have the Witch Storm package to deal with our Sandstorm Titan. Of course, they're already down 2 Lightning Storms, and I believe they only have 3 total. They have 3 Lightning Storms total. So it's not going to be an option going forward. Wow, they kept in the Cauldrons. Holy cow, they kept in Cauldron and they kept in Permafrost. I made a huge mistake on my call then. I made an absolutely massive gaffe. We could double assembly line, but then we don't get to Seek Power here. So let's just go Scrap Tank, Seek Power, hit more power, get back our 2 Ephemeral Wisps. We have a really nice board presence here. So that's good. That's good for us. If we draw another power, we're guaranteed at 8 at some point. We just need to... They only have 1 more Lightning Storm in their deck. So now we just need to race their life gain. Alright, there's the Withering Witch. Damn. So we're not going to be able to get this out of Black Sky Harbinger range, are we? Let's find out. Amber Acolyte. We might be able to get this at least out of Black Sky Harbinger range. Yeah, so these aren't going to be coming back anymore. That was the thing we were nervous about. So we'll do this. Well, this kills the witch at least. No, we'll just do it like this. And that might let this get out of range at least. No, our opponent wisely not blocking. And yep, we're going to just commit more to this board. If they draw Lightning Storm here, good on them. They are going to gain a lot of life off this Harbinger if they have it. But it's not going to kill these other units at least. And these are all about to be 3/3s, which also isn't good. Maybe I was supposed to bring in the Combust instead of the Annihilates. That's probably what we wanted to do. They drew their 3rd Lightning Storm! Holy cow! They drew all 3 of their Lightning Storms. In their first 21 cards. Holy cow. Wow, what are the odds of that, right? My God. That's incredible. They drew all of them. I mean, at least it wasn't Black Sky Harbinger, but my God. So they're about to get... No, we've still got time. The thinning is nice, but I think we just want to go as wide as possible. There's a weight here. Do they have Levitates? What do they have here? Death Strike? It's not Annihilate. We know that. It must be Death Strike. What else could it be? They don't have enough power up for Celestial Omen. It could be Levitate, but wouldn't they have just cycled it by now? Like, they would have cycled it on their turn. No, they didn't cycle it on their turn. Huh, that's interesting. That's interesting. I was... Man, wow, that's crazy. They drew all 3 Lightning Storms. Jeez. Jeez, that is nuts. That's actually insane. And now we're flooding. Oh boy. I really wanted to find a second obelisk. We still haven't seen one of our Sandstorm Titans yet. We've got 4 of them. They've got 3 Lightning Storms. They see all 3 Lightning Storms. We see none of our Sandstorm Titans. That's the way the world works. Sandstorm Titan wouldn't have been that great against all these Withering Witches anyways. But it's just kind of a bummer, you know? It's kind of a bummer. We're gonna swing with them. It sucks that we can't trade, but what can you do, you know? They're gonna be able to use this Cauldron and draw 5, which is a real shame. I mean that's just crazy. They drew another Lightning Storm. Oh well, you take your good luck with your bad luck. And sometimes you get stuck on the side of bad luck. I can't believe he kept in Felon Cauldron. That's crazy. Maybe those Ephemeral Wisps should have been Furnace Mages. Man, like I said, it's really hard to predict how your opponent's going to sideboard. You can try and get in their head as much as you want, but it's not going to make a difference sometimes. He's still playing out all this power while having a Felon Cauldron. Why does he need that much power in play? He tops out at Black Sky Harbinger. It's very odd. Like, I would just be discarding... So we wanted to Islands favor Black Side Harbor to return. Yeah. So we basically... It's really hard for us to win now. We'll try. We'll try to win. But it's going to be very difficult. An Infernal Tyrant off the top would be nice. Or a Sandstorm Titan would be nice. Or another Xenon Obelisk. Those are the cards we're looking for. We're looking for those cards right now. Unfortunately, they just have way more card draw at this point in the game than we do. Jeez. They didn't cast any card draw. They literally just cycled some Levitates and drew some cards with... Oh, boy. All right. This is the math is not in our favor right now. We're gonna have to draw some crazy stuff, but they're gonna get to use Foam Cauldron next turn, and that's gonna be bad for us. Like we're drawing all the Amber Acolytes instead of our Xenon Obelisks. We're just not seeing quite the cards we want to see. We're not even losing to a Haunting Scream deck at this point. We're losing to a Felon Control deck, which maybe means I was supposed to keep in Vault of the Praxis and try and go that strategy, but I think we're right to just be on our beatdown strategy. We just haven't drawn our beat sticks. We haven't drawn them, you know? It happens. Yeah, so now this gets popped. They draw 5 spells. They're completely random. We have no idea what they're going to be. His Aegis doesn't block them, but I bet one of them is going to be Harshfuls. That's the way the world works, right? This thing can do some really funny things. Oh well, I mean we drew so much power again. Herald Song, okay. Oh man, I really felt we had a shot there. It was looking decent for us, but we're just not drawing the cards we need to. Just not drawing them. 75 card decks introduce a lot of variance, and unfortunately, there we were on the. Feel like we're a little bit on the wrong side of it. I'm talking like we've already lost this game. We haven't lost it yet. Discarding Roland's favor. It's just we're not in good shape. Link Scream. Okay. Wonder if they got that randomly off the Cauldron or they had it the whole time. I don't know. Again, it was a good thing we got rid of the Annihilates. It's just that it was unfortunate that the Ephemeral Wisps interact awkwardly with these Withering Witches, which our opponent was wise enough to keep around. It's unintuitive to bring in Withering Witches against a tokens deck, but it is your answer to Xenon Obelisk. When you draw all of your Lightning Storms. Oh, jeez. It's crazy. This deck usually just shrugs off Lightning Storm, but somehow our opponent used them expertly here. Really impressive stuff. Yeah, we're at 10. Jeez, yeah, this game's over. I don't know. Infernal Tyrant buys us some amount of time. Second Xenon Obelisk instead of one of these sigils would have gone a really long way too. Trail Stories, sure. Well, we're pretty happy they got a Trail Stories. And they just... This sucks. This really sucks. We drew a lot of power this game. We drew a lot. Oh, well. If they have Scream, we're dead because I'm making this attack, but what can you do? Yeah, this sucks. This deck is kind of built to be prone to flooding because you're supposed to be drawing so many cards that it doesn't matter. Of course, we took out our vaults, so we can't shuffle through that as much. But the numbers still say we are supposed to have as much power as we did. We brought in some 6 drops. We brought in, like, we need to hit our 4 drops on time. It's not too unusual to draw this much power this late in the game. It's not unusual. We drew mostly our lowest impact cards here. We're talking, we drew, what, 3 assembly lines this game? Yeah, alright, so we're dead. We're dead, but we put up a good fight. We put up a good fight considering the matchup. We didn't see any of our sideboard cards. We didn't see any of them. That seems unnecessary. Oh, they don't have lethal? Huh. I thought they were going to Dark Return this. They just had Haunting Scream. Okay, well, we're technically not dead yet. They're going to have removal for our Sandstorm Titan, though, which sucks. And we're probably going to draw Sabotage since they have this open. Okay, Scheme. Seek Power. Cool. Alright, well, sometimes you draw nothing but power at the end of the game. It happens. It happens. That game could have been very different if our last 3 draw steps were not power, power, power. I think we put ourselves in a decent position to win that game. It's a shame. I really do think we were favorites post-board. We just didn't draw what we wanted to draw. We just didn't draw what we wanted to draw. And they drew exactly what they needed to draw. I mean, they have so many good cards in that matchup. I can't be, like, mad that they drew a good card against us. All their cards are pretty good. But, you know, what can you do? What can you do? Anyway, I'll see you all in the next round. It'll be the loser's bracket. Sad times. Sad times. Just goes to show, even when you board in, you know, 10 cards, you're not going to see all your sideboard cards. So we'll just hope for better luck next time. I'll see you around.